Let's create some crazy play of light and shadows in this painting of the old window surrounded by an old wall. I have used a Stillman and Bin Nova beach toned paper to paint this painting. This is one of my favorite painting surfaces because the paper provides an excellent mid-tone value. It has enough tooth to create a haptic feedback, and watercolor also works excellently on this paper. Let's begin painting by sketching in some line work. I am using Pigma Micron technical pens for the line work. These pens have a dark clean line and their ink is waterproof once it is dry, and it dries instantly. You may observe that I do not use any scale to sketch straight lines. This results in somewhat crooked lines, but that is intentional. I want an expressive look for this painting, and since the wood and the windows are quite old, they are slightly crooked anyway. Take as much time as you want to draw and refine your sketch at this stage. Some mistakes are bound to happen, but we can cover them up during the coloring process. Now let's pay some attention to the surrounding wall. If we do not add any textures to this surrounding wall, the window will appear to be floating in the air. There is no need to go overboard with the texturing at this stage. Most of the textures will be generated during the coloring process. Now it's time to paint the darkest values. I am using black brush pens for this task. Here, I am using black acrylic ink to create some textures over the wall. I use my fingers to smudge the ink for creating rough textures. You may also observe that I am using a tissue paper to dry the brush before applying ink to the paper. This creates an excellent rough texture effect using dry brush. Needless to say, you don't want to use your best brush for this purpose. You will want to use a very old, rough brush for creating such dry brush effects. Now let's finish our sketching and texturing process, and then we will start painting this picture. We will mainly use warm hues like yellow, orange, red and brown for the base of this picture. Don't worry about paints mixing with each other or keeping the paint within the lines at this stage. I used little bit of cool colors like green and blue over the wall. One purpose it serves is to indicate some built-up of moss on the wall. The other reason is having the cool colors over the wall make it less prominent than the window, which is bathed in warm colors, and it is our main subject. I wanted to create an uneven vignette for this painting. That is why I did not fill up everything on the paper with paint. Here I am marking the streak of light. I have used a bright yellow hue lightened by mixing it with poster white. On the other, that is the shadow side, I am darkening the hue by using some brown. Now you can clearly see the shadowed and lighted area. At this stage, you may have noticed that the paper has buckled a little because of heavy watercolor use. We will let it dry before going on to the next step. Now it's time to really push the values to create that stark light and shadow effect. I am using a bright yellow hue mixed with poster white applied in a thick fashion to create the bright light effects over the textured wood of the window. I also added some warmth to some parts of the window using orangish hues. Add darker values to the shadow part to further exaggerate the shadows. I used black acrylic ink mixed with lot of water to exaggerate the shadows on this rusted metal overhang. Painting shadows in such broken manner creates some interesting dappled light effects. To mellow down the stark blackness of the ink, I mixed some brown with it. Now add some tilting shadow to the wall as well. Let the painting dry before adding any finishing touches. I am using poster white to further push the lightest light values. Make sure you use the poster white only in the lighted part of the picture. If you do use it in the darker side, as I am going to do in some time, you should mellow it down using a color such as brown. Adding white color in such a way brings out a total different kind of beauty in a painting done on beige tone paper. Now using a ballpoint pen, I am re-establishing those lines which were obscured due to color. This is a very important step in reclaiming the contrast in the painting. You may use a white ballpoint pen or a gel pen to further enhance the contrast. The last step is to spatter some color randomly over the painting to create some unexpected effects. And our painting is done. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and press the bell icon to enable notifications. You can also visit my website to have a look at my books, video trainings, and my art gallery. Happy painting!